Hi, this is Bill Pierce with What Up Local, and I am sitting here with Brian Idell. A lot of you know him as with Torch Entertainment, or you know him as Brian Idell,
Or
uh,
his torch.
or Torch. Or,
Yeah.
well, I heard Facebook actually kicked you off.
Yeah, fucking somebody went in and reported my middle name to Facebook and they're like, hey, so you can either prove to us that that's your middle name or just get rid of it. I'm like, okay.
Well, fuck, you
Like,
know.
why fight the bullshit? Like,
Well,
there's
you're
ways.
well, you're a promoter, and without Facebook, I mean, Facebook is the way to promote your business as well. Talk about whatever the fuck else you want to talk about. So.
Facebook is definitely a good tool, but people seem to think it's the end all be all when it's honestly not. Like, Facebook is, it helps, but unless you're out on the fucking street busting your ass multiple times a week per before the show, then you're not just doing it properly.
True, and Torch Entertainment. How's that doing for you? How are you doing on the shows? Are you been doing okay on the shows?
I've
Are the
been
shows getting bigger? Are they getting better?
it's been hit and miss this past few years, to be honest. The scene isn't what it has been or what it used to be, I guess. So there's a lot of bands out there that are just stuck in their ways that don't want to properly work for a show and think that everything should just be handed to them. So because of that, I have to, work around those fucks and find the bands that are, eager and willing to work for their spot in this metal scene at this point.
But I mean, you care about the local scene, or you wouldn't be a promoter in the local scene.
Oh, absolutely. Like I want every band out here to succeed. Like when I find out that a band has stopped for whatever fucking reason, it hurts.
Yeah, because it's just another loss to our local scene.
Especially when that band actually does good business and promotes heavily, and you're like, well, I want you on the show, but you don't exist.
Well, I have to ask you. I mean, I've known you for about 3 years. We bumped
Right.
into each other. We've seen each other at shows, mostly in Deep Elm, sometimes in Denton when you make it out that way. Um, and we've talked, and I've heard like some bands say that they like working with you, and then I've heard some bands say that they don't like working with you. And why would you think that a band would say that they wouldn't want to work with a hard-working promoter?
They're honestly lazy. Uh, the majority of my shows at this point are national. With that being said, these bands that are nationally touring and nationally signed are on the fucking road for months on end to provide you entertainment for the night. So they're coming from, 3, 4, 5 hours away to a venue of my choice.
No.
Because that's, I'm the promoter, I'm putting them at an adequate venue to make sure that they can make as much money as possible. So they're, again, driving 3, 4, 5 hours at a time, if not more, to play for you. And certain bands locally just don't feel like ticket sales are part of the scene.
But
Certain bands just don't want to really work and think that they should just be able to show up and play and get paid.
But we've actually, before we even started this interview, we were talking about ticket sales, and you actually you put it in a perspective that I understood a little bit better because, as DFW Undercover, we used to just throw shows, and we would do a lot of promoting, hoping that the bands would actually promote as well. And you believe that with ticket sales, when a band sells a ticket to a fan or someone wants to come to the show, it's kind of like, okay, well, you already gave me the money, and here's the ticket, so it's kind of a contract that, hey, you're going to the show because you already paid for it, instead of sitting and saying, oh, you invited me to the show, but I'm really not obligated to come to that show, even though I said I was going to go to the show. So uh, you're all about ticket sales when you do a show, right?
Regardless of the capacity of it being national or local, with local shows, it's optional. I strongly encourage every band that I work with to sell tickets for local shows because, again, if I give you 30 tickets to sell, and let's say you split point is X, after X you get paid, And if you sell all your tickets, you probably have $300 on you in cash.
True.
So that means you're getting paid no matter what because you would have the money there. And now your fans are obligated to come out because they've already invested into you and your product. So now they're like, well, I just spent $10.
True.
That means short of something fucking up, I should go to the show because I just spent the money for it.
And you're probably gonna have a goddamn good time if I can go to the damn show.
I mean, I'm in this to, make friends and fans and a little bit of money. It's just like any bar wants to make money. So, when you, as a band, contribute to bar sales, yes, you can come in as a band as 4 or 5 members and drink. But when you bring in 30 people with you that also want to drink, the band looks good in the eyes of the bartenders, who ultimately have a lot of say with the venue, because I could say, well, hey, so this band brings all the kids. Yeah, they're all kids. They all drink Coke. They don't really do anything for the bar. We'll make $50 off them. Well, versus this band over here, is 30 years old. Their fan base is in their fucking 20s and 30s. They drink like fucking fish. They could be fucking horrible, but at least they're bringing people that drink.
That's true. But you worked with a lot of venues. I mean,
I've
you do a lot.
Countless, yeah,
you do a lot. I mean, you're working with Fort Worth venues. You work with Deep Ellum venues. You probably even work a little bit of Denton venues.
If need be.
If need be.
If need be. Like Denton is being a college town. Like Denton being known for UNT and known for the college out there. It's a really hard scene to work into, because if school's not in, people ain't gonna come out because they don't necessarily live in Denton unless they're in school. So it's like, well, hey, it's the middle of fucking summer.
That's true.
Let's do a show in Denton. Well, kids ain't there.
And on top of that, we like Denton. There's a lot of great musicians in Denton, but the factor is with Denton, it's a hipster town. We all know it's a hipster town, and a lot of those college students don't have money to go to a show. Mm-hmm. That's why Abby's Underground does really well, because they don't actually charge anybody to come in the door.
You got to be 21, buy a fucking drink. They're happy at that point.
Yeah. So I mean, Denton's a really hard scene, but you've been working with. I've seen you in Deep Ellum 100 times. You've done shows at Wits End. What's other places you've done in Deep Ellum?
Before they closed to do renovations, working with Boiler Room. Obviously, Wits End, Curtain Club and Liquid Lounge, Reno's Chop Shop. At one point, I was doing shows at RBC. I've done a show at The Door a while back, mind you, because if you've been to The Door, you know they're a fucking big old venue, and they don't come cheap to get a rental on that place. So it's not really worth my time and effort to put on a show where I have to have fucking 15 bands just to break even.
Well, I was going to ask you, since you're in Torch Entertainment, you work with a lot of metal, and you do a lot of shows in Deep Ellum, but then there's DMS, which is Joseph, and he does a lot of metal too. Do you guys work hand in hand, or do you feel like he's in competition, or do you feel like he's actually good for what you do as well?
Everybody's in competition with everybody because we're all trying to grab from the same pool of bands.
Yeah.
But if, as a promoter, you know what you're doing, it's not really competition. It's just saying, okay, well, I have the show coming up. I want to use this band. Oh, well, they're playing this date instead, so I'll hit them up later. No big deal. Joseph with DMS has a whole lot for the scene. He works for Trees, which is, as you may know, a mid-sized music venue for the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like an 800 roughly capacity. I don't know the numbers. I don't give two shits. A lot of people can come in there. So, him working for Trees and having DMS, they come to him as like, hey, Joseph, we had this fucking big old Nashville coming through. Who could you recommend us getting a hold of? And that's he'll true. Say, Protest or Explode or Chemicost or whoever. And at that point, the Trees staff will generally contact the bands like, hey, you were recommended by DMS. Here's what the show we have. Do you want on it? Let me know. Whatever the fuck. And then he gets to do a showcase once in a while at Trees and give new bands that may not have been into Trees, because
the opportunity, yeah.
Play. Like, Trees is hard as shit to get into.
Yeah.
the way that they run, they do a lot of national shows and the occasional local show. So when the occasional local show comes up, you gotta have the numbers to prove that you're worth the fucking shit.
Well, I heard once at Trees, once Clint likes you, he'll let you know that he likes you and he asks you to come back. Mostly if the numbers show, because he is a businessman and he's running a business. So you work with a lot in Fort Worth too, and you're actually working with a show coming up at Tomcats. Do you do anything at the rail?
As of right now, no.
Okay.
My good friend Kevin Dunlap has bought into the rail as a co-owner.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Rustin Luther from Tomcats used to actually be a co-owner and had both clips at the same time. However,
and Rustin is a band in the band you're in, right?
Yes.
Rustin Luther. Okay.
Rustin Luther is in the band You've Risen. They're from space. At one point, Rustin owned both Tomcats and the rail, but had to back out due to financial issues the rail is facing. Whoever bought the venue originally did not set it up properly,
Okay.
and the sound in there sucks because of that. Just physics. If there's only 50 feet of space between you and the fucking back wall, it's not going to sound good. So Kevin has stepped in, put money into the venue. At the end of November, they're closing for about 6 weeks to renovate and move the stage around and bring a better production, better sound, better stage, overall better venue.
Oh yeah, yeah. Kevin's awesome.
I was talking to Kevin about working with a national band that was going to come through off of a festival appearance, and he was like, "Well, if you put out the rail, I'll help you out. I'll take the risks. I'll pay you for your time and effort on the same time." And the show just kind of fell through, not by our fault. Just the band decided just to do the one show and just do a fly out instead, because bands can.
But it's cool that you're actually working with Kevin Dunlap. He's a badass.
And he does what he does.
He works with a lot of national acts.
More than me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
He's an amazing, nice guy. I haven't actually gotten to really sit down and talk to him. I've talked to him on the phone. But he's all about the scene. He's about helping, and he's about bettering things. And that's cool that you are trying to work side by side with him. I think he'd be great to fucking be a mentor under or be mentored by him, because he's just
actually
a badass.
been around about a year different from each other. He started off doing a lot of small shows and then has good contacts and got bigger, better shows, which is fine by me. I'm not like, well, fuck you. It's get on it, like this bands that I've wanted to book is well, shit. I asked him the other day, it's who's doing the Act of Defiance and Elysian shows? Oh, that's mine. I was all right then.
Well, fuck yeah.
It's
so you impressed him. That's good.
It's I've worked with him on multiple shows just as a door person and as a promoter.
Yeah.
I've actually physically promoted shows for him on his behalf and gotten, not paid but rewarded for my efforts. So
that's good.
He has a Pegasus Music Festival that came through with Rise Against and Thrice. And he's like, if you're going to go to Incubus, let me know, and I'll get you some flyers, pass these out, and I'll get you into the show for free. For the festival for free. I was like, well,
hell yeah.
I can't really, the tickets for that were fucking $40 for legit good seats. I was like, well, I don't have $40.
Yeah, most definitely. So let's talk about this show.
Yeah, this show, the Lucid Revolution tour, featuring Archaic and Bermuda, with Asylum, Adrenal Asphyxia, Vengeance with a Smile, and Mediums.
And that is at
Tomcats West, next Wednesday, the 28th of October. It is all ages, starts at about 5:30. Bands will be on stage about 6:15. Tickets are $12 through the local bands. The last one that listed are locals. They're on Pre-Kindle as well. If you go to Pre-Kindle, you can type in Archaic, and you'll find Tomcats, and $12 plus fees.
Yeah.
Pre-Kindle has to make money, so obviously they charge a small fee for their.
So it's also $15 a day of the show?
Yeah, 15 day of. If you're under 21, I'm sorry, but I gotta charge you more.
That's just the way it is, man.
Yeah, it was booked as a 3-band package with In Full Darkness taking the last spot on the package. Unfortunately, their drummer's girlfriend got in a bad car wreck, and they could no longer do the tour. So a band from the Carolinas called Filth jumped in while already on a tour. They were basically going to tour and then come through and start the next tour, but then their van blew up.
Oh shit!
It didn't blow up, but it got fucked up, and they don't have the funds because
they're a touring band.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Like, no matter how much you make on a fucking package, like, no matter what your guarantee is, there's always something that has to be paid out at the same time. And
that is very true.
Like, okay, so if I'm paying you $500 for the night, at least $100 that's probably going to go back in the gas tank.
Yeah. Which
is cool. I mean, you got to get somewhere, and then, you're going to sell merch, but at the same time, you got to reinvest into your merch.
Merch is expensive.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately, merch is expensive, so if, bands selling shit for $20, I understand it's not because they're trying to fuck you over.
No, it's...
They gotta make money.
This is business. So you brought a CD.
I did. I brought a CD from Asylum from Fort Worth. It's their debut release.
Asylum.
Yes.
Let me get my hands off of there. And it's called the...
What is that called?
It's called Committed.
Yes, you need to get committed.
And we're going to play the third song?
Yeah, the third song. It's called Acidic Bath Immersion. Before we play this, they have agreed to do something that they've never done before and wear corpse paint on stage for the night. Because it's Halloween.
Oh.
It was a joke between me and the guys. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we'll dress up a corpse paint. I was like, you should actually do it. Like, in fact, I'm telling you to fucking do it.
That's awesome.
So they've agreed to have a friend of theirs come out and give them legit corpse paint for the night, and they're gonna do a fucking killer set.
And everyone should go and see it.
Everyone should really go and see it. They are some of the finest fucking kids in Fort Worth. Fort Worth technical death metal. It's heavy as shit, technical as shit. Bill is gonna play it, so listen to it, and you'll understand how it's so fucking good.
Here we go.
It's meditation.
They have a lot of I don't know, man. It reminds me of Cradle of Filth, man. A little bit of taste to it. I mean, you can hear a little bit of the band's influence to what they're doing. So it's really good fucking music. I guess.
It really is. I've been working with them for a couple years, throughout their career, and they've come a long way.
They're awesome, man. I can't wait to fucking see them, man. That's a killer. And a lot of the bands that are on that show, I guess, pretty much sound. I don't know, saying the same because every metal is a little bit different, but it's just a heavy fucking show.
That's the way I like to do shit. Like I've those of you that follow Torch Entertainment, they know that I do a lot of rock shows, but metal for me is
Life.
Yeah, basically like nothing against the hard rock bands I work with because I love them all, but metal shows just do a whole lot more for me. They get me that much more invigorated. Both Archaic and Bermuda are putting out CDs at the end of the month. Like,
Sweet.
new records coming out in the month, so it's basically like a CD release tour for both of the bands, which makes it that much more fun.
Oh yeah. Well, and this is next Wednesday.
Yes, a week
At
from
Tomcats.
today, technically, since this is recorded on Wednesday.
Yes. And you already heard about the tickets. Now here's the shitter and here's the kicker. He's gonna give away what? 2 tickets?
2 tickets.
2 tickets to this show. We're gonna do a follow-up video for this show probably in the next couple of days. It's our contest that we do. Of course, you have to guess the band that we play, which will be local. And he's okayed this. We'll get you on the guest list. We'll get 2 you guys or girls or whoever wins.
Human beings.
Human beings, aliens, whatever. We'll get you at Tomcats, and you can enjoy this fucking heavy ass show that Torch Entertainment is doing next Wednesday.
Please, if you win and are of age to be drinking, please drink. Like, as a promoter, what I pay basically covers my staff. That's the agreement I have with the venue. They've been cool with that. That's how they make their money. That's, to keep it fair to everybody. Staff is covered by house cost.
Oh, of course.
Rustin Luther, the glorious bearded bastard that he is, loves to serve you drinks, and he loves to make money at the bar because that's how he pays his bills.
Very true.
They have Cold Clock whiskey if you like that shit. They have multiple beer selections, all in bottles. Fuck draft because that's coming at some point in time. Probably.
If you like to drink, they have everything you need.
Yes.
To get you fucked up and enjoy this metal show.
But do not drink and drive.
Anything else you would like to tell the viewers about yourself, or anything you got coming up, or
this December marks 9 years as Torch Entertainment.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know you've been doing that long. Okay. Well, cool.
And there will be an anniversary show or shows announced in the near future, pending venue confirmation.
Well, then we need to get you on the show again and help promote that bad boy.
Oh, we will. I'm going to announce this now because at the point in time that this gets put up, hopefully the announcement will have officially been made. But December 11th at Tomcats West, Omaha, Nebraska band Screaming for Silence didn't come back through. They were here a couple of months ago.
This is them right here, right?
Yeah, this is them.
Screaming for Silence.
They are a nationally touring, independently working band, no label support whatsoever. So that, to me, that means that we're just as hard, if not harder, than the bands that are assigned to a label. The Archaic show, both of the bands, the nationals, are nationally assigned, which is great because they have the support from the label, giving them a little bit extra push. But when you're on the road as an independent musician with no technical support,
That's awesome, though.
yeah, like with label bands, you could say, hey, we're out of CDs, go ahead and give us another 50 or 200 or whatever. Yeah, you pay them back, no problem. When you're independent, you say, hey, we're out of CDs.
We're out of CDs.
Shit, hold on. Who can get them to me quick?
Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate you doing this today. I appreciate you getting on Facebook and actually trying to help me out a little bit with this new show. I hope you enjoyed what we're doing,
Absolutely.
and it was great because I actually got to know you a little bit better. Aside of hearing about you, I actually got to sit and talk to you, and that's how I like to do business anyway. So, thank y'all. Go like Torch Entertainment.
That's facebook.com/Torch Entertainment Dallas. You can just type in Torch Entertainment in the fucking search bar. I guarantee you will find my shit. I'm updating a whole bunch of shit today, tomorrow, over the next. I might release a show a day or some shit over the next few days. I don't fucking know. I do the shit on my own time, then I don't even do shit at the time.
We're artists. We do it whenever the fuck we feel like it.
I'm also half awake, so at this point, I'll go back home and sleep some more.
It's only 11 in the morning.
Yeah, but when you've been up all night.
And thank y'all for watching. If any bands are interested in doing what we're doing, musicians, dancers, tattoo artists, man, whatever the fuck it is, as long as it's creating and it's art, that's all we care about. That's What Up Local, man. It's for you guys. So just give us a shout.
Be at the show.
And go to
Please
the show.
go to the show. Like, I want to see Tomcats packed out. Honestly,
That'd be nice. It's a little venue. About
it
50
still
people.
holds 50 people. Man, it holds like 300 on the legal side of things. Just it's
Let's go illegal and just make it 500.
just show up.
Let's put a line out. It's been a long time since I've seen a venue have a fucking line outside the door.
It has.
Thank y'all again. Bill Pierce, What Up Local? Sitting here with Brian Idell.
Torch Entertainment.
Keep it metal. I guess he doesn't give a fuck about metal.
Oh, fuck you. I'm tired.